Good morning, everyone. Tom, aka Nostradamus. We're going back to the roots, baby. We're going to talk about some stocks. We're going to talk about a stock I love to crap on. Two stocks I love to crap on: Lordstown Motors and Workhorse. And I got to prepare for this. And scene. All right, so I want to talk about this swashbuckler, this hooligan, this fraud, this guy named Tom Nash. He's starting to get on my nerves. I want to talk about why he's stealing. He's flat out stealing my content, and I'm going to prove it today. All right, so fact number one. Let's get to fact number one. Tom. I'm Tom, dude. Where do you get off stealing my name? All right, let's hop on over to we're not done with you, Tom Nash. Let's take a quick look at the markets. The stock market is going to open up in 5 minutes. The NASDAQ's rocking again. The NASDAQ's moving. Them stimulus checks. The stimulus checks are back on. The cryptocurrency markets are moving like crazy. We definitely going to talk about that. Real quickly, let's get into this Tom Nash guy. Lordstown Motors is a short report out there. I've only read the first couple lines of it, and it actually led down a rabbit hole of funny. Look, dude, all right, so first of all, Tom Nash, right? Where's this Tom Nash guy at? All right, I want to play a little clip by Tom Nash, just proving further facts. First, he stole my first name. All right, so now let's listen to what he has to say here.
Which I called out. And of course, we don't want Lordstown Motors RIDE 5 months ago. I did a video that this exact thing happened, and y'all told me. Now, this time you I was saying, bitch.
What is this guy watching? No, dude, I'm Nostradamus, bitch. All right, and like look, I was calling out Lordstown Motors and Workhouse before this guy was even out of diapers. Let's go back to, let's roll the tape. All right, we're rolling it. Here we go. Workhorse. Is Workhorse a buy? Pretty sure I said no on that, but the one I was really, Here's another problem. Look at this handsome devil. Come on, Tom. You're ugly. All right. I'm kidding. All right. So look at this. 25 likes, 39 dislikes. My price target of Lordstown is 0. Did I put price target prediction in this video? I did. Dude, I got so much hate for saying 0. Oh, Tom, it can't go to 0. Specs can't go to 0. Hey, dumbass. I'm not talking about when it's at a spec. I'm talking about after they're done pulling the wool over your eyes, as Tom Nash would say, allegedly, it's going to 0. All right, so here we go. Back in October, I was already crapping on Lordstown. I was already crapping on Workhorse. These videos go on and on. All right, so scene over. I actually love Tom Nash. I'm kidding. I think the guy's amazing. I think he, I mean, obviously he knows his way around finances. I still think I'm better looking than him, but Tom Nash, oh yeah, here we go. All right, so I was reading the first few lines of the short report. Like, I don't have any idea if any of this is true or not. All I know is back then I smelled fishy. I smelled like this, you know, just doesn't seem right to me. And then I start reading things like, for example, this line right here. For example, Lordstown recently announced a 14,000 truck deal from E Squared Energy, supposedly representing $735 million in sales. E Squared is based out of a small residential apartment in Texas that doesn't operate a vehicle fleet. I feel like, look, I don't know if that's true, but I feel like that could easily be investigated. And for that matter, I would imagine all these things, if Lordstown's touting things like this, I feel like, you know, eventually it's going to catch up to him. But at that point, it doesn't matter, right? They've already gotten the SPAC. They could already, I don't know if they've diluted shares, but I mean, they've already gotten the money, whether it's a carpet pull or they just want to get the money to try and build the truck that they talk. I mean, that was the biggest red flag for me, for both of them. Workhorse saying that, you know, they have access to Lordstown's factory. This Lordstown factory can produce hundreds of thousands of vehicles. I think it was a day or something, some crazy number. And I'm just like, dude, what, like, are we talking about it produced this crazy amount of vehicles when we were pumping out, you know, some easy ass gas car that was, you know, from the 90s. I mean, like we're talking about way, you know, this is a whole different ball game with new types of and this is a factory that had to be retrofitted with new robots. We're talking about a lot of money. We know how much Tesla had a problem with that, and they're some of the best people on the planet when it comes to factory lines now. So that's just, to me, it's just something that did not seem like it could be done overnight. I could go on and on about their prototype. They don't even have a vehicle, an actual V truck that they can produce yet. As far as I know, it's still in like beta or whatever it is, right? But I started, like, the first thing, I'm like, okay, so I could look into this. What's going on with E squared energy? Is this something? So I did a little Google search, and not a lot came up, but one of the first things that came up, oh, my boy Jack Spencer, I forgot about this guy. I used to watch him a little bit in the beginning. Check out his bar in the back. That's going to come back, all right? So, look, I don't want to hate on Jack Spencer. I wish him the best, but the guy's a bodybuilder turned stock expert, right? So you're taking advice from someone that went from becoming, he was pretty, and I love the hustle, dude. And he does give, like, he would give solid advice, like, I'm in it for the long term, buy and hold, all things I agree with. Then he would say things like Lordstown and Workhorse are my biggest positions. And I'm just like, dude, what are you talking about? And I'm not kidding. Bodybuilder, look at this. Bodybuilder, one day, a little bit of travel. He's fasting, some clothes, cereal, and squats. Or you got some ice cream. Oh, 2 stocks I'm watching. Invest like Buffett. 5 stocks to buy now. What happened? So he pivoted. Good for him. Dude, what is he, like 27, 30? Like, was he in the 2008? Look, I'm not saying I'm a stock expert, but I've been in the game for a long time. I've been through a few crashes. While he was out here saying, put your money into Lordstown, put your money into Workhorse, I was saying, sell that garbage, don't buy that garbage, put your money into NEO, put your money into Tesla. And I put my money into some things like SBE, XPeng. Next thing you know, my stock account went from 3,000 to 300,000. And then I'm like, okay, it's time to start investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now I'm at close to 500,000. So, you know, I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying I'm not a little bit reckless. Obviously, all my money's in crypto right now, so there's an extreme Saint Ganging in the house. How you doing, brother? What is happening? What is up? I'm just on a rampage. I'm going old school. I don't know if you missed it, but I've already gave Tom Nash a hard time. It was a joke. I love Tom Nash. Now I'm giving my boy Jack Spencer a hard time. I still love Jack Spencer, but he's not a financial advisor, and neither am I. So, all right. Enough on the. I'm not even going to waste any more time. Lordstown, I think you're insane if you invest in this stock. I've been saying that since last summer. The same for Workhorse. The only thing that even made me doubt myself at all when it came to Workhorse is that ARK invested in it. And it was 1-2% of their portfolio. They were taking a gamble. They still might be right on Workhorse. I don't think so. I don't think this Lordstown's ever going to be anything. I don't think they're ever going to be successful. I mean, I could be wrong. If you're in it, if you invested a small amount of your portfolio, a highly speculative amount of your portfolio, and you know that this is either going to 10x or 0x, and you're okay with the 0x part, then good for you. If you all in it, which I mean all in, if you went all in on it, on something like this or Workhorse, and I know a lot of people did that, you're probably going to get your face melted off. You know, I'm glad you asked, Saint Ganging. I'm actually doing really good, much better. You know, I've been worried about my health. Found out I am severely vitamin D deficient. I think being indoors during this pandemic didn't help that. I think it's been like that for a long time, and it's just gotten a lot worse over the last year. I'm beginning to wonder if I need to take some of my crypto off. I think I've been way too risk averse, way too YOLO into crypto. just because I thought I was going to be in a wheelchair and dead within the next 3 to 5 years. But after a couple days of taking vitamin D, I'm not saying I'm out of the woods yet, but I'm starting to feel a lot better. I'm starting to feel like I might not be in a wheelchair within the next year or two, and that maybe I shouldn't lose all my money. And so as Bitcoin was crashing last night, I'm like, man, do I need to take some profits off the table? I need to make sure that I have some money. Let's take a look at how we're doing. So Ontology is finally in the green. DMAC in the house. Why did I say that? I don't know that DMAC's in the house. DMAC was in the house, told me about Ontology. I actually love to play. Was actually looking at what I... 1 second I'm saying I need to take crypto off the board and take profits, and the next second I'm saying I need to find what's cheap right now during this dip and buy more. If I were to buy more, I'm seriously considering probably leaning towards something like Engine and Mana. I think Mana is going to be a massive, massive parabolic move this year. I do think Mana could hit $10, $20. I think it could go crazy. Engine, same thing. I think it could get pretty crazy. 10x, $30 Engine. What's its market cap? 2.3 billion. Do I think that could go to 10x and 23 billion? Yes, I do. Oh my goodness, I'm talking myself into wanting to buy more. But at the same time, I need to take profits, right? I need to take profits. Google the Gerson therapy. Oh my goodness, dude. Go to Tijuana and get my face turned into a soccer ball. I think I've heard of this Gerson thing before. Good morning, everyone. Tom here, aka Nostradamus. Welcome to the Health, Medical, and Holistic Cancer. Dude, I don't have cancer. Actually, I have heard about this Gerson thing. I'm gonna reread this, look into it. I know you have talked about going all greens, all vegetables. I'm already a vegetarian. I already eat. And I agree, man. I've watched things like Forks Over Knives, and I think there's a lot of truth that comes out of that stuff. But I think I have heard of this. There's some place, but I don't, dude, I'm vitamin D deficient, man. I looked up the symptoms and I'm like, extremely lethargic, check. Massive bone and muscle pain, check. Like, again, so I do have celiac too, which is gluten. You're allergic to gluten. But the thing is it F's up your villi and your intestines, so you can't absorb as well. So you add to the fact that I'm a vegetarian, meaning I'm not eating like fish and cereals that are vitamin D fortified. I'm basically a vampire. I haven't gone out in the sun for 20 years. And it's gotten extremely worse with this pandemic. I wasn't hardly going outside at all. I would go take walks, but it would usually be after dark, right? So now I'm getting more sunlight. I'm taking vitamin D. And again, some of the massive body pains and aches that I've had already have gotten tremendously better. So there's hope. And I am trying to, my diet got a little off the rails. I still wasn't bad, but I wasn't great. So I'm going to check this out. I am trying to improve my diet, trying to be a lot more better with my diet, a lot more vegetables and greens. I've definitely heard about this, so I'm going to look into that some more. All right, enough about the Tom Health channel. Let's hop into the markets and see how we're doing. Everything's red now. A second ago, everything was screaming green. Did we get a market dump? I gotta get this heater, man. This heater's out of control. Turn it on. It's gonna be a sauna in here in a second. All right, so the dollar's flat. Silver's down 31 cents. The VIX down a nickel. The Nasdaq's still up 102. Why is everything red? Oh, because I'm in a bunch of Bitcoin proxies, and Bitcoin's down. Ooh, my small account's up. What's going on over there? What the hell is going on over there? Oh, ETH. ETH is pumping, man. This account's like 67, 80% ETH. ETH is pushing back up towards 1,800. Litecoin is one of those ones I was thinking about. Like, I kind of want to, if I'm going to invest in a crypto, I'm also kind of leaning towards something. What is something I can buy that I don't already have? so that if I sell it, I'm not first in, last outing myself into a massive gain. And Litecoin fits that bill. Litecoin is something that I think that could 3 to 5x. There's some PayPal stuff, merchant payments coming soon, and Litecoin and blah, blah, blah. All right, so stock market is a rockin'. Tesla must be down though. Come on, Tesla. Why are you down $10? Like, seriously, are you down because of Bitcoin? It's only 10% of your balance sheet. Tesla kind of dropping hard there. All right, let's take a look at the charts. Bitcoin did have a bit of a pullback. It's still following the trend. I mean, this trend's holding tough. The trend is your friend. This has been holding tough since January, the end of January. I mean, really longer, but that's when it started. And I actually, so there is kind of this rising wedge pattern that goes all the way out to roughly January, the end of January, roughly, where it hits about 200,000. So if this were to play out, I'll take a $200,000 Bitcoin by next January, and then a dump, right? So that's possible. It's so far that's holding, and you see my Ferrari right there. That's what I'm getting. Again, the best technical analysis on the internet. Ethereum's looking really good too. It's holding its very long-term trend line since December. Both of them, you know, they kind of get overextended on this trend line and they come back down to it. So the bottom of this right now would be, today would be right around 52,000. We got the 20 right around, it's kind of touching the 20 right now. We'll have to see if we get a bounce off of it. One thing I did notice on this is the overall volume is not too crazy on both this big up pump and this down move, especially when you compare it to what we've seen in the past. So I don't know, there's a lot of people out there talking about manipulation, F2 pools now moving it to ETH and blah, blah, blah. I look, do I think these F2 pools and these miners and these whales do manipulate? Yeah. Are hedge funds manipulating? Maybe. Like all these new companies trying to get in, are they trying to, you know, are they greasing some wheels here and there to try and get the best? Like, I mean, who wouldn't? If you could, wouldn't you do the same thing? Wouldn't you try and get it at a better price? But what I'm seeing is the volume's not too crazy right now. So I don't know if it's manipulation versus just regular cryptocurrency price action at this point. Cardano's kind of, you know, just kind of bleeding, very slowly bleeding, coming down. They've got some events coming up. You know, they're finishing off the Goguen stuff. I think the birdies, Charles has talked about the birdies. The birdies have still not come out. I would expect some news. And so he said there was catalyst coming like every 6 weeks or so. So on top of the birdie and the speculation, the birdie is, I think Ethiopia is going to use Cardano. You know, there's some projects that are going to be coming online. This is still easily one of my, it is my biggest crypto bag. It's probably the one that I feel like is going to continue to be the one that continues to go up a lot. It is one that I just recently bought another $2,500 worth. And it's one of the ones that I continue to want to continue to buy. And I've already got a massive amount. So I definitely love this one. Polkadot, same thing. It's kind of just spinning sideways. It kind of keeps going back and forth between $32 and $40. It's the same thing, man. These Ethereums, these Binance chains, these Polkadots and Cardanos, they kind of just rotate around. There'll be some news. I'm expecting a lot of news and hype coming around Polkadot again pretty soon. They got parachain auctions and all this stuff coming up. It is going to cause the price to pump. It is down, you know, it's down near the bottom of this, coming at the trend line. If I were to invest in some cryptocurrencies right now, Polkadot would be high up on my list. I've already got 1,000 Polkadot. I'm earning 12% interest on it. I'm getting a little over 2 free Polkadot a week, staking it on Kraken, and it's one that I love a lot. I just did a video on mana yesterday. I'm I'm probably gonna go off the rails and play this a bit more over the weekend. I do want to become how to become. It's probably Wells dumping on the futures, possibly futures or next week, I believe. I don't really think there's a whole lot of, me personally, I don't really know what's going on, but I don't think there's just the volume tells me. I think it's just, you know, who knows? I do think the stimulus checks are hitting the bank accounts. My friend text messaged me last night saying, "Hey man, I thought we were getting 2,000." I'm like, brother, I got 0, so be glad you got 1,400. Whatever. That's a lot of the news is right now is the government just stimulated Bitcoin by $40 billion. So I would lean more towards no offense, this is gonna be a lot of dumb money coming in. If they've taken their stimulus check and putting it into a stock market and cryptocurrency, it's dumb money for the most part, right? And hey, look, don't take offense to that. I'm still dumb money. I might not be as dumb as some, but I'm dumber than others. And if you're taking money that you need to pay bills, to pay your rent, like, I guess, I don't know, if you're 12 months behind on your mortgage, what is a $1,400 stimulus check going to do? I mean, I'm not saying it's the right decision. I don't know that I would pay off a mortgage when you know it's inevitable you're going to eventually get kicked out or whatever, but that, you know, that would also tend to lead me to believe that if you haven't paid your mortgage for like 6+ months, you're probably struggling with food too. And a $1,400 stimulus check in Bitcoin, I don't think is going to turn your life around. Now, you could YOLO it on something that's much more risky, but with risk means you could just as easily lose it. And you might, so there are, and I'm not even going to mention names because it would tear me up to hear someone took a $1,400 stimulus check, YOLO'd it into some small cap cryptocurrency and lost it all. But I wish you the best if you do something crazy like that. Heard people on Robinhood getting margin called because Robinhood can't complete deposits. That's messed up. Yeah, man. F Robinhood. I am completely off them. I've never felt better. I don't like, but yeah, I would imagine, and I don't know if they're still getting investigated over the GameStop thing, but I can't. Dude, it's so garbage though. What are they gonna get? Some $20 million fine that they just like they make that under their couch cushions. So I think Robinhood is hands down. There's something, so Robinhood, man, they changed the game, you know. They fees are a big thing, so they eliminated fees. You know, I guess you're paying for those fees in other ways, but if they can't, I don't know. Like, man, I've listened to their CEO, and he just seems like an idiot, no offense. And so you got your Webull. That CEO seems like he really knows his stuff, but I don't like the Webull platform. I mean, you know, different strokes for different folks. I don't like the platform at all, but I like the fact that you can buy partial shares, even though that's kind of gimmicky. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know, this is kind of harsh to say, but at the end of, no, that's not true. So the partial shares is kind of cool because you can set up like and that's one of the reasons why I like M1 Finance a lot. Say you wanted to invest in the ARK ETF or this new JP Morgan crypto bucket thing. Don't pay their fees. You could go to M1 Finance, set up your own pie exactly like it, and just put a percentage, you know, whatever it is, 10% in Tesla. I don't know what the percentages are. I don't remember. But 5% and it'll automatically buy partial shares of that for you. And I do think that's really cool. At the same time, like if your account's so small that you can't afford full shares, and I know there's some outliers, like Tesla's pretty expensive, Amazon's crazy expensive. It's hard to be able to buy 1, 5, 10 shares of Amazon. I mean, 10 shares of Amazon's 30 grand, right? I mean, that leads me to believe you're likely a much newer investor into the stock market. So that's another reason why I highly recommend M1 Finance. It only allows you to trade once in the morning. You can upgrade your account and then get that to, you know, twice a day. You could trade later in the day too. That is a very, very, very good platform if you're a new investor. It teaches you how to buy and hold. It helps prevent you from panic selling because you can only do it once or twice a day. It allows you to easily allocate your funds on a percentage basis versus something like Robinhood, or it turns it into a game buying options, right? And buying options is hands down one of the worst ways to invest. It's less than 50% chance. More than likely, the time bomb's ticking, you're going to get your face melted off. The market has been somewhat conducive to being successful in that, just because it's basically was a rocket ship up in 2020. So there was tons of people out there YOLOing Tesla calls, making a lot of money. Right. And there's also been some videos of people YOLOing Tesla calls and losing all their money. So again, that's a ticking time bomb. If that's the kind of investing you're doing on this channel, we do trade options quite frequently, but we sell options. We do it with defined risk plays, and we do it with ways that are greater than a 50% chance of success. And it's been very fruitful. And so that's other things. Robinhood, it's very easy to overtrade there. You'll constantly trade. It'll lead to bad mechanics and bad habits. So, you know, I'm not a fan of Robinhood. And I eventually, as being a seasoned investor though, I was in it and I didn't, you know, I wasn't really down on it. But then all this financial crisis came. They did the whole thing where you couldn't buy or close positions. I forget all the details on like 20 plus stocks, which immediately told me that they had a liquidity issue, right? And that's a major problem. And I was at the point where all I really had over there was my Bitcoin, over about 1.5 Bitcoin and a few Ethereum. And I'm like, dude, like if Robinhood has a liquidity problem, they could potentially go under any day now. They could declare bankruptcy. And I just can't have that risk because all my money is over there in a cryptocurrency that I can't even take out. I can't even put it in my own wallet, and it's not insured. So it was very painful. I had to bite the bullet and sell it. And it was like close to $30,000 in profit that's now taxed, right? I've increased my cost basis. I had to go back over and buy it on your Binances and Coinbases at a higher cost basis. So now I'm locked in at a higher cost basis. And if Bitcoin dumps, those taxes are already pretty much locked in after so if this goes, so but I have to make a quarterly tax payment, right? Which sucks. So after 2021, if Bitcoin dumps, I can only take a $3,000 loss. I could lose $200,000 in cryptocurrency and stocks, but I can only realize $3,000 in taxes, which sucks, right? But I've already paid like my ridiculous 30+% to federal and 12% to state on that roughly $30,000 gain, right? So that was extremely painful to do. But you know, I mean, it's a lot less painful than Robinhood going under and losing it all. So I'm just like, man, this sucks. I bit the bullet. I did it. I forgot about it. And it is going to be what it is. Yeah, so they have the ability. Robinhood raised $3 billion since the game thing. I know they raised money. I'm not sure what the amount is. So they aren't going anywhere but F them. Yeah, so yeah, F them. I couldn't agree more. At the time, I didn't know what was going to happen to them. I agree with you. I don't think they're going anywhere, and they do have the ability to raise capital. I still think there are a bit of risk, but I agree they're probably not going anywhere. Either way, I feel quite a bit better that my money, you know, I couldn't take the risk, right? It was just too much money to potentially lose. It was, I mean, it may turn out to be, I mean, at the end of the day, what's $10,000, $15,000 among friends, right? I mean, whatever. Obviously, it's a lot. All right, let's wrap this up. I got to go, gotta go do that daily grind. Gotta pay for my monthly nut. Man, oh man, I'm so tempted to buy some more of this. All right, so how's Bitcoin doing? kind of hanging around. It's got alligator blood at the 55K level. Ethereum, are we over 1800 yet? Nope. I think Ethereum's going to pump today. I think altcoins could start pumping. If Bitcoin kind of does stay flat and doesn't dump, just kind of consolidates around this 55 level, which it does seem to kind of found support right around the 20 at, it did dip down. Did it dip down that low? What is the low for the day? I didn't even look at that. So the low for the day, 53,200. It did wick. It does seem to be support around the 55K level. So yeah, Bitcoin, let's kind of just hang around the 55K level, go into an accumulation phase, no more dumping. Maybe a pump, maybe some news comes out. I mean, is it all the India FUD? Maybe. Maybe, I mean, maybe that's all it was, right? The India FUD. India can't make up their mind. But Ethereum and the altcoins are starting to pump a bit. Again, Ethereum, so there was some news that the miners were, these idiots, man. Like, would you really? Why would you do a 51% attack if you could pull it off? You're just cutting your nose off to spite your face, right? You're just going to destroy everything. But apparently there's some new EIP 3 whatever, so that miners are happy again now. So what is this supposed to happen in like June the 1559? It's going to make it somewhat less inflationary. I think that news really hasn't caught up to the price of Ethereum yet. I think Ethereum, I'm going on the record of saying I think Ethereum's going to pump to new all-time highs this month, possibly 2,500 plus. Ethereum was one. I did buy $10,000 more Ethereum last week because it was kind of hanging back. I think it was down around 1,800, and I did buy $10,000 more Ethereum because I do think its pump's coming. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. Don't do it just because I do it. Put on your own big boy pants, make your own big boy decisions. But I think the Ethereum move is coming soon. I think the same thing with Cardano. We are now in a very long, little bit of a drip. What have we lost? We've lost about, I'm not going to go to the peak. We're just going to go to the, like right around the $1.20. That spike to 150 was very, very brief. But it's down about 25% over the last 15 days or so. This could continue for a while. Just be patient with it. Maybe it could even possibly go down more. There is a pretty big support line here, even at, so right now I'm not doing anything, but if it were to go down to 95 cents, which I'm not saying is out of the question, I might make another big buy, right? Polkadot, again, I think a lot of news is coming out. It is holding this very long-term support line too. It does kind of keep going back and forth, but it keeps finding its way. It keeps finding itself to stay above this. Oh, come on. All right. All right. We're just going to continue to be difficult, aren't we, TradingView? All right. I give up. Come on. Like, I just want, there we go. Oh my goodness. All right. I do think this is going to continue. As long as it holds above this, I'm bullish. Even if it goes below it, I wouldn't become overly bearish, but I do think I do see a pump coming. And again, this mana, man, like it's pulled back. I'm keeping my eye on this one. If this one dips hard, which I don't think it's going to, like if it were to pull back down to like 70 cents, it's possible because these NFTs have really pumped a lot. Engine's the same way. I mean, these right now, it's kind of frustrating because Decentraland, I'm up 500%. And Engine, I'm up 435%. But I did such, I mean, 0.81% and 0.43% of my portfolio. This original buy in Decentraland was like $250, now worth over $1,500, which is great. But now I'm just like, Tom, why didn't you all in Decentraland? Because you were being a smart investor, Tom. You were using common sense. Same thing with Engine Man. I only put about $600 into that. At one point yesterday, this thing was pumping and it was around $3,300. So overall, I'm really happy with those investments. Stock market. Tesla's starting to come back a little. It was down 10 bucks a bit ago. MicroStrategies and Maras and your riots, they're down. Bitcoin's down. If you're in the stock market, you don't want to buy cryptocurrency outright. The miners have been very good. They're a great proxy. There's also PayPal that I like a lot. I think this is going to be an amazing stock. If I were investing heavily in the stock market, I would be investing heavily in PayPal right now. I think PayPal will be $1,000 plus stock within the next 1 to 2 years. They're doing the right things when it comes to being a fintech company and crossing into the cryptocurrency market. As I mentioned yesterday, there was a really good video with BitBoy and Michael Saylor, Big Boy. Check that out. Yeah, really good video. All right, I'm gonna head off to work. I love you guys. What did I say yesterday about Decentraland? Man, I played the game. There's a lot of things I love about Decentraland. First of all, it's in a game. It's kind of like an MMORPG, meaning, you know, mass multiplayer. It's mass multi, so it's MMO. I don't know that it's role-playing, or what is the role-playing game. Kind of, I mean, you're role-playing real life. So there's so many addicting things in it. And then there's NFTs that are really hot. You can buy virtual land. So it's checking a lot of boxes. And I think, you know, and these are a lot of things that are addicting. Wanting to, I mean, so trading, just think about like trading cards. That's a hobby, right? NFTs checks that boxes, and it's a very addicting hobby to some. Playing online games is a very addicting hobby, right? Earning money online, very addicting hobby. And there's ways to do that in Decentraland, as far as I know. There's gambling. I don't know. Did you guys know gambling was addicting? Hell yeah, it's addicting. It even was. You can gamble. I don't even know how it's legal, but you can gamble in Decentraland. I haven't really looked at it. So it's just check, 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 check of a lot of boxes that this thing can go to the moon. And then you add to the fact that it's only, what's its market cap? It's like, it's chicken scratch. So I'm really considering YOLOing a bunch more into this. The thing has, so the circulating supply is about 60%, which is, market cap's only 1.3 billion, bros. Like, yeah, this could easily be a 10 or 100 billion dollar company. Could you imagine this at 100 billion? We're talking $100 Decentraland is not out of the question. It's not out of the question. Moonboy Tom, yes, maybe. Metaverse, entertainment, non-fungible tokens. You can play the game. You can earn money. You can buy and sell. Dude, like, this bad boy has a lot of potential. I bought $250 worth. I don't think it's out of the question that $250 in the next 1 to 5 years is worth over $100,000 if I hold on to it. I need to stop talking about it because I'm seriously considering YOLOing back into it. Anyway, I love you guys. See you tomorrow, 6:25 a.m. PST. Be there, be